Hello, Professor Laneker. This is Michael Mattern. This is Imaging and Data Recovery, the exercise portion, part 2 of 2. Again, this is for CNT 6418, Computer Forensics 2. Alright, now this is the fun part of the presentation. We're going to play around with a lot of different software. For this exercise, the medium in question is a 512 megabyte USB flash drive. Finding a flash drive this small has been a blessing because it's much quicker to image as opposed to, say, a 64 gigabyte flash drive, which takes quite some time. So for this scenario, I'll paint you the picture of the scenario. Previously on this flash drive, we had 56 files. They were all dog pictures, all dog puppies pictures, and they occupied 55.1 megabytes on the drive. I then deleted, and by obviously not forensically sound, but I just deleted all 56 files, threw them in the recycling bin, and then I put on 11 pictures of Mazda Miatas, one of my favorite convertibles, and this occupied 24.8 megabytes. So for this exercise, we'll walk through how to image the flash drive, and then turn it into either a DD or you can do an ISO or a 001 or EO1 file. And then we'll use Autopsy to recover the data on the imaged file itself, which generally is the way to do it. And also we're going to use Recuva, which is a great software, and we're actually going to recover the data on the disk. So Autopsy will recover the data on the image. Recuva will recover data on the actual 512 USB flash drive. And I wanted to use two different softwares and do it in two different ways just to see what different results I would get. And we're going to play spoiler here and go right to the results. Basically, they recovered the same exact stuff. I wanted to see how many deleted dog pictures I could retrieve, and on both Autopsy and Recuva, I was able to get 30 full. On Autopsy, I was able to recover one partial, a very, very small piece of one picture. So anyway, I'm going to walk you through. Let's get out of this PowerPoint. Let's have some fun here. So first things first, we'll go over what is currently on the USB drive. Right here, as you can see, it's 11 pictures of Mazda Miatas on there. So X out of that. So I want to make a forensic image of that. We're going to use this program right here, Access Data FTK Imager. Okay, and instead of walking through this entire thing, which we've used this many times in class, traditionally file, create image, I planned in advance to respect your time and not have any radio silence while it takes a few minutes to image. Able to image it, and this is what I got. It was 0.00, or I'm trying to take a look at the properties here. I said it's a 001 file, 504 megs. That's the size of the USB disk. What's really important, which I mentioned in the first one, to make sure the hash values add up from the USB drive to the image file. As you can see with this software, it generates a nice little report here, and the MD5 and SH1 checksum values are verified and they do match. So it is definitely a bit-by-bit forensic copy of each other. So I wanted to, like I said, the main purpose for using two data recovery softwares, I wanted to compare the two and see if there was any discrepancies. So first we're going to use Recuva to make a copy of the to recover data off the USB drive itself. So we're not using the image for Recuva. We're just going straight up from the USB drive. And luckily, this is actually a very quick tool. And we're only going to look at deleted files that were on this USB drive. And honestly, it runs them through very quickly. And as you can see here, a lot of files here, a lot of dog files on here were able to be recovered. In fact, 30 of them were. 30 out of 56 were able to be recovered. The other 26 were overwritten by the Mazda Miata, and which is interesting because I mean this is all done on flash memory, which does sequential writing, so it's only natural. So I think honestly, I think if this was a traditional hard drive and an SATA hard drive, we'd be able to cover every single one of them. But as you can see here, we got everything from golden retrievers to Pomeranians to a lot of corgi pictures here. The big dog guy, in case you can't tell. But it's actually kind of good. It was able to cover 30 dog pictures off that USB drive. And so what's interesting also is I wanted to compare it with another program we've used extensively, Autopsy version 4.3.0. And this is where we're going to do analysis on the image itself, that image that I got using FTK Imager. New case, we're just going to put anything here, base directory, that case name, examiner, pattern, finish. You know, it's interesting. It seems like when I use these tools, a little much faster when I'm just playing around with them. It seems like when I'm live on camera here, they definitely take a little bit longer. So anyway, we're going to just load the USB image in here that we made. Load it up, look it up. It's not that big. It does it fairly quickly. You can see in the lower right-hand corner here, it's going. So we're going to look at, first thing when I do this, I kind of look at, I try to open up a lot of these to see, and we're just dealing with images here. So as you can see, a lot of these deleted, so we're going to run through and we're going to see which ones we're able to get covered or not. So as you see here, we got the same dog pictures. There should be, let's see this one here. Okay, here we go. As you can see here, we have this, the same 30 dog pictures that we pulled off of Recuva, we pulled off of Autopsy here, and along with the Mazda Miata pictures, which are currently on the drive right now. What's interesting when talking about data corruption, I have this file right here. As you can see, it looks like only 2% of the file is viewable. It looks like the other 98% was overwritten by probably one of the Mazda Miata pictures. It's not as pretty as the art gallery exhibit by Melanie Wilhide, but it's interesting that I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that it's a USB drive also. I think with the sequential, it's just naturally going to cover up so many, overwrite so many of the dog pictures and, a majority of this one file right here. So that being said, interesting playing around with a lot of these programs. We've gone over so many programs in class, some of which I believe are better than others. But yeah, the Recuva and Autopsy are definitely the two best ones that we played around with. And also, I guess one of the points of this is just to reinforce what I've learned in this class and other classes is that anything that's was once on a disk is easily recoverable, absent any encryption. And encryption makes it harder, or if someone friendly wipes their hard drive, changes all the bits to 0, it makes data recovery impossible. But it is interesting how data recovery differs from a flash disk as opposed to a traditional SATA hard drive. Anyway, Professor, coming up on the 10-minute mark here. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I'm enjoying the class, really enjoying the Linux stuff. As someone who's never really used Linux, I find a lot of it very interesting and really broadening my horizons with a lot of this stuff. So once again, thank you very much. I'll catch you later.